So, Street Fighter 6 has been changed, has been changed, has been changed. The logo looks good. Now look, I know there are leaks that have been shown, and we basically know who may be on the starting roster of the game. We'll talk more about that towards the end of the video, but right now, today, in this video, this very second, I want to talk about some things that Street Fighter 6 should have by the end of its lifespan. Street Fighter 6 is coming out in 2023, and will probably get supported by Capcom for a while. So right now, I want to talk about some key characters that Capcom should eventually put into the game before the end of Street Fighter 6 lifespan. First, we're going to talk about mainline characters, starting with the bosses. So in Street Fighter 1, you have Sagat. Street Fighter 2, you have Bison, or Dictator, as some people call it. Street Fighter Alpha Zero, you have Akuma, or Goki. Now, it's actually Bison again for Alpha, but to be honest, Akuma could be the representative for Alpha. Bison and Akuma could even be flip-flopped between Street Fighter 2 and Street Fighter Alpha if you really think about it, since Akuma killed Bison in Street Fighter 2, so. Anyway, Street Fighter 3 is Gil, Street Fighter 4 is Seth, Street Fighter 5, well, it was Bison again, but I'm pretty sure it was probably supposed to be Nakali, but they kind of messed that up. But Street Fighter 5's is actually G. They basically confirmed that it was G. So, and then I would like to think we would get a brand new main boss for Street Fighter 6. More on that later in the leaks section. For this next section, we are focusing the main characters of Street Fighter. The poster boys, or the heroes, if you will. Now, we're not going to talk about anybody from Final Fight or rival schools, so no Guy, Cody, or Akira, or stuff like that. I love those characters and they do belong in Street Fighter's universe, but they will have to be exempt from this list, since they are main characters from a different series first. And you know what? We'll start with the female main characters first. Female duos. So we'll skip Street Fighter 1 because, you know, they don't have any female characters. But the first female fighting character, though, is Chun-Li in Street Fighter 2. And her duo counterpart from Street Fighter 2 series is Cammy. So Chun-Li came out in the very first version of Street Fighter. And Cammy didn't come until Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 2, which was about maybe 4 entries later. The 4th entry of Street Fighter 2 technically is the 3rd update, I guess. Something like that. Anyway, for Street Fighter Alpha Zero, you had Sakura and then Karin Kazuki. Now, some may raise an eyebrow to this because Sakura was not in the first iteration of Street Fighter Alpha. Rose was, but Sakura and Rose don't hit as well as Sakura and Karin. I think many would agree Street Fighter Alpha 2's Sakura and Street Fighter Alpha 3's Karin is a stronger or more recognizable duo, especially since the duo can be similar to Ryu and Ken. For Street Fighter 3, we have Ibuki and Makoto. Ibuki coming from the first iteration of Street Fighter 3 and Makoto coming from Third Strike. They even have a unique intro with each other, so they're definitely a duo. And much like Rose, we had Elena in the base version of Street Fighter 3. In Street Fighter 4, we have C. Viper in Super Street Fighter 4's Juri. Juri definitely outshines C. Viper, but this is a good female duo to represent Street Fighter 4. Now, Street Fighter 5 is a weird cookie, because there isn't a clear duo here. The female characters that are unique to Street Fighter 5 are Laura, Koin, Menat, and Falk. You can just take Falk and keep her out of the house. But I hear nobody really likes her or her design much. But she is the main female villain, or well, one of the main female villains. There is Koin, which is also a female villain, I guess you could say. But as far as who was there first, Laura was in the very first iteration of Street Fighter 5, so she definitely is one of the main female characters. But who would pair up with her? Both Koin and Menat came into Street Fighter 5's Season 2, so both of them are good candidates for the duo spot, I guess. But you would have to choose if it's Laura and Koin or Laura and Menat. But then again, both Rose and Elena were both in the first iteration of their respective series, so Laura doesn't have to be part of the duo. I don't know. You let me know who you would pair up in the comment section down below. I hope there is a main duo for Street Fighter 6. More on that later. We'll move over into the main male characters of Street Fighter. So Street Fighter 1, Ryu and Ken technically. Street Fighter 2, Guile. Street Fighter Alpha Zero is Charlie Nash. Street Fighter 3 is Alex. Street Fighter 4, believe it or not, is supposed to be Abel. Street Fighter 5 is Rashid. Yes, he is the hero of Street Fighter 5. He does play a big part in the story, and he even acts like he's the protagonist of the story. He is Street Fighter 5's hero, besides Ryu. Ryu is the mainline Street Fighter poster boy of all Street Fighter, basically. Then you got Street Fighter 6, which is Luke. We all know he's the main character. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. How do I know this? Not only that Capcom stated he is very important for the future of Street Fighter, there is also this picture from one of Luke's ending images in Street Fighter 5. As you can see here, it has Luke, Rashid, Guile, Alex, Ryu, and then inside the TV there, you have Nash doing his super critical art in Street Fighter 5, and then who is he doing the super on? It looks like a zombie, but if you really look closely, it's actually Abel. So every main character from all the mainline Street Fighters are in this picture, and that is from Capcom themselves. This is not a coincidence. They did this on purpose. Now, another thing that is really funny though, Dan from the Alpha series is in here. Street Fighter's joke character in response to SNK all those years ago. He is in here, so he could also be a main character. But you already have Nash, which is the main character from Alpha. So Dan is just there for comic relief. Maybe it's a main joke character or something. I don't know or have any idea, but either way, yes, this is very interesting that we have these main characters. The main male characters, female duos, and major bosses, all of these characters should be in Street Fighter 6 before its lifespan is done. There are many other characters that also should be in here for different reasons, but these main characters are strong symbols and or icons of the Street Fighter world and should be included. Quick tangent about the character select screen. I've seen some footage of Street Fighter 6 in their character select screen, and they didn't use the hexagon style in the select screen. They're missing out on a big opportunity there. In one of my previous videos, I showed my prediction character roster, which has the hexagon look to it. Has that Street Fighter 3 Third Strike or CVS 2 look to it. I did see a screenshot somewhere online that had the hexagon look, and I hope this one is real from a later build. It does have Guile, and he wasn't on the build that everyone played, so it could still happen. So now, we'll talk a little bit about the leaked roster and how my prediction got flipped on top of his head. I'm not going to show the characters, but I will talk about them. So if you don't want to be spoiled now, please skip to the time listed on the screen. Okay, are we good? Alright, about to start. Street Fighter 6, 22 characters on leak, 8 brand new characters, 8 original characters, 6 returning, no alpha characters, no Street Fighter 3 characters. I am so shocked. So you remember how there was saying there's 3 eras of Street Fighter? Street Fighter 1 is Era 1, the beginning, the original, the start. Street Fighter 2, Alpha, and Street Fighter 3 is in Era 2, the 90s era. Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5 is Era 3. Capcom was a different company at this time compared to Capcom of the 90s. That's another reason why I put it in Era 3. And at the time, I wasn't sure if Street Fighter 6 was going to be considered Era 3 or possibly a new era of Street Fighter, the 2020s era, I guess you can say, which the latter is actually coming true, because they have changed the formula here. Era 3, Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, they always had 4 alpha characters, with one of those characters actually being from Street Fighter 1, and 4 brand new characters. In Street Fighter 6, there's 8 brand new characters. This is including Luke, since he was actually made for Street Fighter 6. That's double the amount of new characters and the same amount of new characters Street Fighter 3 had, which also reconfirms the Street Fighter 3 to Street Fighter 6 connection there. Side note about the new characters. I feel like one of them could be a new boss. You know the one. Actually, 2 of them have the potential to be the new boss, the new main boss of Street Fighter 6. There are also 2 female characters that could be a nice duo. And there is also a rival looking character for Luke. So I think the mainline characters could be covered here for Street Fighter 6, and I'm happy about that. But anyway, there are no alpha characters, and that's weird. Well, weird if it was still the third era of Street Fighter games. Since this is a new era, there's a new mold. Street Fighter 3 characters are not showing on base once again, which in my prediction I thought they were going to add some on base, but this is why this whole thing shocked me. Now let me ask you a question. Who are the only 2 playable characters in Street Fighter 1? Ryu and Ken, right? Who are the only 2 remaining characters in Street Fighter 3? Yep, Ryu and Ken again, right? Now check this out. Who are the original playable 8 characters in Street Fighter 2? Those 8. I'm just saying, those 8 are the first line of characters on that leak. Just saying, it could be a coincidence. It could be not. I don't know. Oh, but wait. I did say that there are 8 original characters, 8 brand new characters, and 6 returning characters, right? Yes, I did say 6 returning characters. They aren't the original 8, but they came after the original 8. So we have 2 Super Street Fighter 2 characters, 1 Street Fighter 4 character, 2 Street Fighter 5 characters, and 1 traditional secret character from Street Fighter 2. Y'all know the one. Now, even though this roster was leaked, it is not confirmed that all of these are base roster. Those 6 returning characters could very well be DLC for all we know, which some patterns I was looking at in my prediction would still hold true if that was the case. I said there would be no Street Fighter 5 characters on base, and that one secret character that was always a secret character or DLC in some later games wouldn't be on base. You know the one I'm talking about. Even if all 22 characters come with the game, one of them could still be a secret character you have to unlock. But to be honest, I hope all 22 characters are on base. 16 as a base is fine for me, but I know some people wouldn't like that, and I'm always down for more characters at the start. I'm sad that the leak did come out because I was speculating about Hakan, Hugo or Andor, Gil, Hagar, and even Damned or Thraster or whoever his name is being in the game. I was like having fun trying to figure out. I was even looking at the guy with the rings on his arm in the background of the gym that Luke was training at in the beginning of the video. I even was looking at the red hair person in that one billboard. I was having fun with it, man. But it's alright. I'm still going to get excited on how they look in motion, and it's kind of like how Capcom showed us we were getting in some seasons of Street Fighter 5 before they came out, and then they released a video of them in motion and in 3D and stuff like that. So it's gonna be pretty cool. But anyway, my wish for Street Fighter 6 is by the end of Street Fighter 6's lifespan, I hope all playable characters in Street Fighter history are playable in Street Fighter 6, including the non-playable Street Fighter 1 characters, excluding Street Fighter EX characters though. I would rather see Street Fighter and EX Fighting Layer do a crossover game for that, a potential Street Fighter EX4 if you will. But that's all I have to say for this video. I was going to put my reaction to like the Street Fighter 6, but it's been way too long now. I will make another video in the future when more information comes out. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.